Hello everyone, and welcome on back to the final video where we talk about this day's teaser and also the entire speculation board where we pick every single class Elite Spec combination that I think is going to come in expansion 6. So today was the final day before the official announcement, which is the 15th, but what we do have to talk about is this icon from the jump. My brain, my heart, Guardian. I know I've said Guardian for a couple of these, but it's only because Guardian is kind of versatile. I mean, it's a soldiery knight class, but it also utilizes magic. It can be quite aggressive, but it can also be very defensive and or healing focused. A lot Guardians can be and flex into. However, with this icon and this image, the core Guardian symbol is a shield. This is also a shield, facing in the same direction, might I add. And I also feel like with many of these icons, they're pulling from a lot of core profession elements and or using certain motifs and themes that we have had previously in Guild Wars 1 and or in Guild Wars 2 and really making them into their own elite specializations. So in my heart of hearts, I think this one actually is Guardian, which has also shifted around a couple of my predictions. With that being said, we are going to transition over to the official speculation card. This was posted by ArenaNet on their social medias, and I decided to just utilize this to showcase my predictions for today. Now we're gonna go in order of the reveals, and this is going to be my final prediction as to what we are getting for these specializations. First and foremost, we have the loot. I truly believe that this is Mesmer. There are so many elements of iconography in the training wheel. Before Mesmer was actually released, it was teased as the Minstrel, as its illusion, but I would love to see this be kind of rebranded as the Bard and focus on musicality and enhancing their teammates and themselves. So that is where my money is on. Next, we have the helmet icon. This was also up in the air for a potential Guardian, but now that we have the final icon for today, I really think that one is much more Guardian-esque, and with the concept art that we received in the blog post, I think this one is Paragon, so I think this one is going to be attached to Warrior. I just feel the wings are kind of a dead giveaway, and so far, the only thing we have to really go off of in terms of official concept art that we know of as a class is Warrior and Paragon. Paragon has those wings. The symbol for this is a helmet with wings. It's very similar to the core Guardian icon, so that's where I'm putting this one. Next, we have this orb with these two bending materials. I'm not quite sure. This one, I still have absolutely no idea what this is going to be in terms of an elite specialization or how it's going to function. And I think because of that ambiguity, I'm going to maybe put this for Engineer. I think this one is going to be Engineer. NG icons are always a little off the beaten path because Engineer as a class in and of itself is about innovation. It's about invention. It's about doing and pushing the limits of what already kind of exists and doing something new. And I think this just is the only one that I would really attach to Engineer. There might be one other that I could have seen as Engineer, but I think this one is going to be my bet where I'm going to place my money. Next, we have the cards. Now for the cards, there was a moment in time where I was like, is it going to be something more magical or is it going to be perhaps Thief? Now that we have all of the icons and we've been duking it out in the comments and people have changed my mind, they have reinforced my thinking, I believe that this is Thief. I always thought it was Thief, but as we continue to get more icons, I kind of wavered on this. I was like, oh wait, maybe it could be a magical class. I think that this is going to be Thief. Also, the Chinese poems that have been released do give us a subtle hint as to what these might be. I think this one is the most plausible element for a Thief. Next up, we have this, I'm going to be honest, don't know what it is, but it looks quite sharp in nature, somewhat metallic, and got an edge to it. And so for that reason, with the edge element, my money is on a Revenant. Revenant is going to be a class that I really watch out for in this expansion, because I want to see how they bolster Revenant as a class, because we are no longer getting the weapon attached to the Elite Specialization. In fact, I don't think we're going to get new weapons in this expansion at all. I guess that might change down the road. I have my eye on you, Revenant and Revenant mains. Next, we have the dagger. Now, this was the one that I was like, oh, maybe assassin. And I'm going to be honest, I no longer think it's thief. I don't. Y'all convinced me. But that does not change the fact that I do not like this icon for what I believe is the class. A lot of people were talking about the dagger and how it's often representative of rituals. And of course, we did get the concept art for the ritualist as being a necromancer. So I really think that this is also going to be necromancer. I was also on the fence with it when I made that video. I just really don't love this icon. I think I would have chosen something else, but as ritualists and necromancers are kind of marrying together, it does make sense because necromancers have a lot of sacrifice skills, particularly in Guild Wars 1 and a few in Guild Wars 2. So they might go down that route of sacrificing certain elements of their kit, be it their health pool or their life force, to summon these spirits. We have this fox spirit. Now, I was recently on the Lightbringers, which is a podcast with my lovely friends, Jebro Rook, Boots, Fornax, and Engelbert Meows, where they really solidified my idea with Guardian because of the Shrine Guardians in Cantha. They are protectors, and Guardians in general, I mean, it's in the name, are usually protectors as well. So I was also down the road of Guardian. However, the recent icon, it took it from me. So with what we have remaining, we have 3 classes remaining, which would be Elementalist, Ranger, and or Guardian. I think this is going to be Elementalist. I don't really see them giving, I don't know, this just, also with the idea that they're really leaning into the core elements of a kit and of a profession, with this shield, with these helmets, with the bard, which is a callback to some of the elements of the minstrel that was going to be, you know, teased as the Mesmer release. I think this icon is not Elementalist. So this fox icon leaves it as being my pick for the Elementalist profession. I don't know what they're going to do with this in particular. Even on my video that I made, people were wondering if this was Elementalist. The ears themselves kind of look like flames. So maybe we're going to be summoning certain spirits to fight alongside us and to utilize their abilities. Maybe they're going to be more of like a standard pet feature. We do have glyphs, which they can summon minions, but we don't really have a permanent pet that they can use. So maybe that's going to be a new edge that they explore. We have the last 2. Well, we're going to cover this one because I talked about it already. Guardian for the shield. I think that this is going to be Guardian, as I mentioned. But then we have the bow. This leaves Ranger. And some people might be a little saddened about this being Ranger, possibly, only because Ranger as a class already has access to a fair few elements of ranged combat. But I will say they don't really have an elite specialization that has truly explored the bounds of pushing their ranged combat, be it having a new archery kit or some type of enhanced archery mobility and or mode. So I'm thinking that this is also going to be for the Ranger. This is my current Elite Specialization speculation. I have the Bard for Mesmer, Paragon helmet I think is going to be this for Warrior. This strange orb I believe is going to be for Engineer, the cards for Thief, the metal flower claw talon thing I think is going to be for Revenant, the dagger, which, you know, ritualistic dagger, I guess, would be for Ritualist. The fox or rabbit spirit is going to be for Elementalist. The bow for Ranger, and then the big bulky shield is going to be for Guardian. I cannot wait to see how they talk about these elite specializations, if we're going to get a lot of information come tomorrow, or if they're going to space it out. We will have to just wait and see where ArenaNet takes us on this journey for expansion 6. And with that being said, thank you all so much for coming on by and watching these videos. If you've seen almost every one, I just want to thank you for sticking around. It's always so fun during these expansion timeframes where we get to talk about the games that we love and also talk about some of the teasers that ArenaNet will drop. So comment down below your idea, maybe your final tally. Give me your list of the Elite Specialization to class bingo card. I would love to hear yours down below. And yeah, comment, like, and subscribe. There are more Guild Wars 2 videos coming your way very soon for the expansion and also for just general MMO enjoyers. I also stream over on Twitch Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So I'll see you all over there and take care. Bye, everyone. Mwah.